I'm from Brazil. I lived in London for 7 years and US now for 4 years. I love enjoying nature. I love supporting people, for real. Everything about music fascinates me, and everything that vibrates, sounds, and understanding how those vibrations affect the body and all the environment around you. This really fascinates me. I spend most of the time analyzing, believing or not, the silence. Because the silence has sound. It talks to you. Also observing nature, how they communicate, right? The birds, how the trees communicate, and how the wind communicates, and it's always talking to us, right? I sometimes like to hibernate, like doing normal things, right? Like watching a good film. What is success for me is a little tricky for my mind. I'll tell you why. Because I came from artistic industry, right? Like music, acting, and I was taught that success would be to be in the spotlight, right? To be up there, you had to be the best, and you have to sing for 40,000 people. And I did. I did sing for 40,000 people, 20,000 people, 10,000 people. I might didn't go to where success was defined, but I consider myself a very successful person. I don't think success needs to have a definition of where you have to be or what you have to have, or because it's not about showing the world what you are or what you have, or letting the world know any of it. I think it's a state that you feel. You've done your best, and then you sincerely look at yourself and feel proud about it. To resume this is not somebody that has to come to me and say, yes, you are a star, or yes, you are the best, or no. I think it's when you look at you and say, you're doing good. You're okay. If I have to look in a different perspective of your question, and if you see that the world, nature, responds to you in a very lovable way, like a dog is not barking at you in the street, right? A bird comes in your hand, or you see the nature, it's, really in alignment with you, I would say you're a very successful person. I don't look at my pain today with the pain that I felt in the past, because I understood that everything that came in my life was for a reason, was a beautiful teacher. I don't connect to the pain in that level anymore. Yeah, I can look at the contrast that I live today and understand how that made me so stronger, and literally made me see that I'm capable of things that I never thought I was. And it's almost like opening a window to light. And if you understand that everything is energy, and every energy has the polarities, the positives and negatives, so the negative that I lived is the same weight in positive. So when I looked at my negative, I said, okay, so there is in the same amount and weight of positive somewhere of that energy. How can I get from here to here? So first, I understood that if you don't allow the pain to come, it always will be triggered by something that will remember that. I'm not talking about you get depressed and feel the pain, and stay there. No, I'm not talking about this. But understanding your pain from a different perspective and from different angles. Let's say I have a pain that I'm living or grieving something, and I shut down the door and I don't want to leave it, and I move on. And anything that triggers that, I will explode. I will become reactive. That means that pain is still there, living inside of me. So instead, I understood. I said, okay, this hurts. This is not good to live, but I understand I'm leaving. And I stopped asking why. Why? Why am I leaving this? This is not fair, or, And I accept, okay, it is what it is. The why always wants to come there. But then, okay, so now what? I'm still feeling. Okay, so I stay here a little. Okay, how this is making me feel. And then, why is a different question. Why this is making me feel like this? Why my reaction is pain towards this? What did I desire that is not resonating with, is already there in existence on my, what I call vortex, right? So what is already there? So why this contrast? So, okay, so the opposite already exists, or the opposite feeling, the fulfillment. So that's why I recognize that as a pain. But does not mean that I do not experience pain. I do. But when pain comes, now I look in a different way and I receive it as a contrast. And I allow it to be, and once I allow it to be, somehow, sometime, that empowers you. It gets a time where you say, okay, I felt enough. I cannot tell you when is the time. It's you. You will determine when that time it's ended. But you allow it. And then you're honest with yourself, and you love yourself, you understand, and you say, okay, you went through this? Cool. Now, let's get stronger, and let's do everything that you already know how to put up there. So you start doing things that you like doing. So you listen to a good music. You cannot get to A to Z fast. You have to go B, C, right? You have to go to the steps. So you cannot get from sad to happy like this. You have to build that frequency, right? So once you go in the radio also, you cannot go to 10 to 105. You go all the way, unless it's digital, but I'm joking there. So once you build yourself into a better state, then you are able to connect to the positivity of that negative. You have to go at least in the middle. And then it's when you silence yourself, you connect to your higher self, and you can be very surprised in the way that you will receive whatever is there available for you. And then you tune in, right, to the positive of that pain. I just could come to a conclusion of all the good that my pain brought me once I achieved that state. Because before, I was the victim, right? It's easy to step into the victim mode and to look at your past and your difficulties, your traumas, and be the victim. It's easy. So once you get in that state, you don't become the victim. You become the fighter. You feel proud of yourself. I always understood that if we vibrate, if we feel everybody in alignment, we can raise what I understand that is a earth frequency, right? Everything, it's vibrating. Earth vibrates, and it has its own system, like our bodies, like heart, lungs, and it vibrates. The earth heart is vibrating, so we have a frequency, and we are part of this resonance. We are able to influence this field together collectively, and almost like we can receive more from outside, you know. Let me give you an example. A child is learning how to walk, but a child cannot go to A to B if he didn't learn how to walk. But if the child learns how to walk, he will get to B, right? And it's available. But it's always being available, it's there. So the child needs to learn how to develop the body and the strength and understand how this body will function so this child can go to B. It's almost the same. We are this big body together, and we are learning how to walk into this evolution. And in order for us to go to B, we need to learn how to walk into this new way of seeing life, new way of communicating, new way of being, and this state of consciousness that it's able to evolve from here. So YouTuneIn came from this desire to help society to tune in. It's really important for me to be close to people and to also share the channel and the healing process to whoever it's available to receive. I think my journey is not different from yours or from anybody's. Like, it's ups and downs. But it took me a while to understand where I am at today. I just think I can share from life experience, really. I'm not like a guru, I'm not a monk, or I'm just me, you know, that been through a hell of a journey. Been through a lot and learned. I learned a lot with my pain. I learned a lot with my story, with my experiences. I understood how to overcome them. And this journey, it is and always going to be a beautiful teacher. And I think that's what I can talk about. That is a long learning process. And it's been good, but it's not always been good, because before I couldn't see that as good. So today I'm able to see bads and goods as all good, all part of the expansion, all part of the process.